The National Treasury is considering revising downwards the 2.1 trillion shillings Kenya Revenue Authority collection target for this financial year. Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yattani says this will enable government work within means as he prepares to ask Parliament to cut down the 2019-2020 budget by 131 billion shillings through a supplementary budget. As Faizal Ahmed reports, this is the first admission by government that all is not well with the economy.
The two men on the spot, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yattani and Budget and Appropriations Committee Chairman Kimani Ichung'wah, was seeking a deal that will see Kenya Revenue Authority collection targets revised downwards as one of the steps to manage the government's purse.
Revenue has been underperforming for the last 10 years. We always, at the end of the year, we report underperformance of the revenue by about 100 billion or even more. So to avoid going back, making budgets based on false assumption, this time we decided to be realistic. We know our deficit last year, we knew our deficit for the last number of years, so we have adjusted our revenue estimation to a figure that is near realistic.
We had expressed concerns at the beginning of this financial year when we did our budget report. You will remember we raised the issue of the realism of the revenue estimates for the year 1920. And we are glad that the National Treasury now has come to that realization that what we were saying is indeed true, that the revenue estimates they had were not very realistic. And as the CS has said, they are now moving towards a more realistic estimate of the revenues.
The collection strain that has seen the Treasury make a drastic about turn on the 2019-2020 financial year budget. During the meeting held at a hotel in the outskirts of Nairobi, the government implored on the legislators to accept their decision to cut down the budget by 131 billion shillings to give it a lifeline.
That's why we came up with austerity measures, particularly in the areas of recurrent, areas where we have discretionary powers in travels, foreign, domestic, areas of advertisement, areas of supply of newspapers, a number of things.
This on the backdrop of recent austerity measures announced by the Treasury that heavily targeted recurrent spending at all levels of government. This said to be a move to free up funds to support President Ukur Kenyatta's legacy-defining Big Four agenda. But in its push looking for the elusive cash, Treasury also says it will come down heavily on commercial-oriented state corporations that make money and fail to remit it to them. This targeting institutions like Kenya Bureau of Standards, Kenya Ports Authority, among others.
There have been surplus funds, there have been savings, in terms, particularly in certain sectors. We've taken money from them so that we continue supporting the budget.
Mopping up all the money that is sitting idle from both ministries and parastatals. Already, as we speak, within a few weeks, the National Treasury has mopped up 87 billion of money sitting with the bodies like Communication Authority of Kenya.
Kenya has been living beyond its means for the last 7 years. KRA has constantly failed to hit its targets as Treasury piles up ambitious budgets. Heavy borrowing from development partners has also continued to strain Kenya's purse, with the current public debt estimated at 5.6 trillion shillings.
The National Treasury says that the new measures are put in place to aid it reduce its borrowing, keeping in mind the new debt ceiling that has been put in place. Faizal Ahmed, Citizen TV.